If you could only hold on.
As we conclude Autism Awareness Month, here are 5 ways that you can be proactive throughout the year. First, educate yourself. Awareness starts with each person taking responsibility for themselves. 2, attend local events. 3, be proactive and an advocate. 4, speak up. And 5, be a positive role model. So, babe, let's finish up part 3 of Dreams Deferred as holders. How does that sound to you? And let's talk about Joseph. That is one of the greatest stories in the Bible, how Joseph had this dream as a young man. And, he was favored not only, with God, but also with his dad. However, he has some other issues in the household. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit. You want to do that? How are you feeling today? Tell the folks how you feeling. Good. So how's your day been? 1 to 10. A 10? Okay, good. That's good to hear. Okay, so let's get started. We've had a wonderful 3 weeks discussing Dreams Deferred, having our guests come in. So let's talk about Joseph in the Bible and how he was favored by not only God, because there's a major plan in place for Joseph to be used by God, but also, Joseph was favored by his dad because God gave him, Joseph in his old age, but he had siblings, and his siblings wasn't feeling him at all. At all. You have his dad who I can only imagine what the household dynamics were, but the dad gives him this ornate robe.
Mm-hmm. Right, and let's think about the meaning of ornate: detailed, embroidered, colorful.
Yeah.
Right, and what did they get?
That's what I see when I...
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So like he got a target on his back.
Right,
that's
like
what
did
it
they
is.
even have a robe?
Right. And okay, so they did have a robe. But ornate, especially with you being in fashion,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about bedazzled on a whole nother level. When you think about ornate and, the gems, the jewels, that was a part of the tassels, like material,
Mm-hmm.
Silk, the finest of material. So I can only imagine.
How it looked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, my mind goes into this fabulous piece, this garment that is just outstanding.
Right, just think about like designer.
Yeah.
Designer clothes.
Yes.
High end.
Right.
High end. After that robe was given to Joseph, Scripture says, Genesis 37 says, the brothers hated him. Hated, that's huge. That's a horrible word. When you think about hate, like, I don't hate anybody. So hate, like, what does that, I don't like being upset at people because it takes too much out of you. So hating someone, I can imagine what that is or what that feels like, because I don't even like being upset at people.
Yeah, but something that's crazy is
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine hating someone off of something materialistic like the
Mm-hmm.
robe. And
Yeah.
then it's like, are you mad at him for the robe, for having the robe? Like if you had the robe too, an ornate robe, would you still be mad? Or is it just something on him, his favor that he has from his dad?
Right.
I just feel like he already hated him, but that just added fuel to the fire, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's justified. Like, oh, first off, our dad, we can tell our dad already likes you
Right.
or favors you more.
Mhm.
But now you have this ornate robe. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's justified. Now we really don't like you.
Exactly.
Now we can say and act on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. because I think oftentimes, you know, it's not, oh, you look good, or oh, it seems like you're doing well, or my parents favored this child or me over another. I believe that it's the hand of God that people, that they see. They see that favor. And I don't care how low you are in your situation, in your state. When you have God's favor on your life, it makes things look sweet. You know, and so I think it was that. I believe, just like one of y'all posed a question, if they all got the ornate robe, would they still find something else to hate Joseph for? Probably so. But then, okay, so here we go. Joseph the dreamer, dreams deferred. But Joseph the dreamer then goes and has a dream. And then he tells them, what was he thinking about? Because he would have had, come on now, you already know they don't like you.
Yeah,
right. But that's the thing of more maturity too. Because at the end of the story, he learned like you can't really boast, and he wasn't boasting, but you still can't tell people your dreams sometimes.
No.
And once he matured, he realized that.
Yeah, and even that maturity also came from the brothers, because just because someone shares their dream, it's not meant for you to envy that. For me, when I hear people's dreams, when I hear their ambitions, I am driven, like, you know what? I never thought of that.
Right.
You know, I need to look into that. Or not maybe look into that, but, you know, what's interesting to me? You know, what is it that I should be doing? After the dream, scripture says the brothers hated him even more. You know, I would imagine Joseph felt that, because you always feel that shift, because you know I always talk about that shift. You know, when you feel that shift, prepare yourself. You know, and it's okay. It's okay when the shift happens. But okay, so let's move on in the story. So then the brothers go off that morning after Joseph he's gotten the ornate robe. Then he tells them a dream. In their interpretation, they were going to be like submitted and bound to Joseph. So the next morning, the brothers go off to tend to the herd. Joseph didn't even go with the brothers. So what was he doing? Was he allowed to sleep in? There again, that favor, which added fuel to the fire. He doesn't have to get up and go herd the sheep or whatever, the cattle. But the brothers do. But then the dad says, scripture says, okay, go check on your brothers. So this is where it starts. I mean, it didn't start there, but the drama, the action really starts in the story.
But one thing that I was going to say is, I don't even blame Joseph, like, as far as, like, you have brought up him being mature and not sharing his dreams. Like, this isn't a stranger, though. Like, I have a dream. I always tell you guys first, guys, that's what I dream about. Right. It was this. Well,
that still doesn't shy away from the fact.
Yeah, because it's like, that's his dad and his brothers.
Yeah.
Those are your immediate family. You're going to want to, like, guys, I had a dream. What does this mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
With your immediate family, you do want to share your dreams. Why not?
Right. It's your family.
It's your family.
It's not your second cousin. It's none of that.
Third, fourth cousin.
No.
Your great aunt.
Right. Your fifth cousin, your daddy's brother's niece, daughter. No.
Right. And how's that competition?
You all always talk to one another. You know, your ideas about fashion.
But I've never been jealous of you just because you told me about, like, your fashion details. I'm not a fashion designer.
Right.
I'm not inspired by clothes, none of that.
Right.
I like to see it on, but why would I be jealous of you?
No.
Right. But yeah, when Joshua goes upstairs, he has an idea. He goes upstairs, makes a beat in about 5 minutes, and then he's done. I'm not jealous of him. I'm like, oh, I wish I could make beats.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone has their own gifts. That's the point.
Right. Joseph finds his brothers. They're down in Dothan. The minute they saw Joseph, what did they say? There goes that dreamer. And then says we should kill him. What? What?
That's a crazy statement, especially your brother.
Are you kidding me? I have worked myself up. I'm that jealous of my brother, of a coat. Really, it's spiritual. They just don't realize it. It's favor. It's what God has for him.
Right.
That they don't even see at this point is going to benefit them. So we need this hate. We need this jealousy to actually get Joseph to where he needs to be. But it's sad for me, who Satan gets to use is your brother. Why? You know how I am. I'm kumbaya.
Brothers, because it was multiple brothers. I said brothers.
Yeah, brothers. Not one brother. Yeah. So you don't have one person with that in their heart for you, but multiple brothers, plural.
Right. And it's crazy, like, they got all that hate for him, but it's all love on this side.
All love. Yeah, all love. So, you know, even though there he was being plotted against, he still loved his brothers. He still went, as his daddy said, you know, to see how his brothers were coming, not realizing that that day would be the first day of his, what I'm sure is a delayed dream, a dream deferred. Why? Because when you, oftentimes until you mature, when God gives you a word, you know, when you grow up in church, you know, the prophet comes, you know, you have a word or a dream, the prophet might come and confirm that dream. But you have that in hopes, oh shoot, I'm about to walk into this now.
Right.
No.
But that's the reason why you got the prophecy.
Yeah.
Because you needed to have something to hold on to. Like, he's not going to give you a prophecy if everything was all green grass and everything, rainbows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you're going to need it.
You're going to need that word to hold on to. Josh, you done said something right there. Yes. There are so many words of prophecy, confirmations for me and your dad, that if we didn't have that dream to hold on to, we would lose hope because you can't see it. I done got shipped off. Now I am sold into my brothers. I am in the hands of loved ones. And they done sold me off. They done stripped me of my robe because they can't even stand to see me in it. They're done with that. You know how you see people, you like, oh, I'm about to take that up off of her or him.
Right, just like rappers, they be still in chains.
Right. Yeah. So
But it's like you still in their chain doesn't make you a rapper now. Like, you're doing it for no reason.
But they don't want to see you in it.
Right.
So it doesn't even matter. It's like, I'm going to take it because I don't want to see you in it. So, you know, okay. They strip him of his robe. They sell him into slavery. What I thought was interesting is now you got this whole cycle of, how do I want to say, not shenanigans, but all this plotting. Like now you got to get your story straight. Okay, well you say this and then you say that.
Final division.
Yeah. So now we got to get this story straight, you know, and how we sold our brother into slavery, but we got to come up with a story to tell our parents. So we gonna kill an animal, soak his robe in the blood, and say that animal killed him. You doing all of that? So the hatred done got you to, you know, want to plot killing him. The baby brother, Reuben, says, no, don't do that. So then they said, okay, we won't, but we're going to sell him. But still you plotting, you got to plot, you know, to come up with a story to tell your dad. That's a lot. All because you allowed jealousy and hatred to fester. Why? That's a lot of storytelling. Who has time for that?
They had time.
They had time?
Yeah.
But imagine if they would have put that type of energy. That's a lot of energy. Imagine if they would have put that energy into, praying, studying. Lord, what would you have for me?
Right.
Right. Lord, give me favor.
Give me favor, Lord.
If you did it for him, I know you could do it for me.
Right.
Yes. That's the way I've always looked at, when I see people with blessings, I'm like, or being blessed or, something they've been praying for, waiting for. When I see them reach that level, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait till my turn. Even if my turn and my eyes are delayed, I'm still happy. I'm happy in no matter what state I am in. That God is going to do it for me. Why? Because he loves me. I'm his child. So what would you do for your child? I have y'all two, me and your dad. We have the two of you. But there is absolutely nothing I wouldn't do for you that I wouldn't do for Antoinette and vice versa. My entire time, 20 years, I won't tell y'all age, not that.
I just told him the last one.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Okay.
But all I wanted to make sure is that you all never felt like I favored one over the other. That would break my heart. And y'all know I ask those type of questions because I want to know. That's why I make sure.
I'm your favorite son.
Yes, you are. My baby boy. I won't say it. I just said it. But yeah, that's why me and you'll roll out because, and then they get jealous. And then be, what y'all doing? Or when we come back, Josh, they act like they got attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me and Antoinette, we naturally can go get our hair done and, go get our nails done. So I had to make sure I'm spending quality time with my son. And of course, I always tell the story how your daddy stole my son, for football. And that's cool because we all were there and a part of that. But anyway, so yeah, just thinking about that whole story. In the end, it's a glorious story. But, all of the parts of, why did God have to, why was it the brothers? Why did the brothers allow Satan to use them? Why couldn't it be, someone else? But surely not your brothers doing you in. That's sad to me. After he's now sold, they had to go back tell their dad this story. Now, those who, took him on the road, now he's sold into Potiphar's house. And so there again, you have this road now where Joseph is going to be hidden, sold into slavery, now off to Potiphar's house. He's doing well there, but then he gets lied on. He got to deal with Potiphar and his wife.
Right.
So why y'all lie on him? Because he's fine?
That's what the Bible says he was.
Yeah. So he fine, the wife like...
He probably had a beard.
He probably had a beard.
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, so, okay, so now I got to deal with this mess with my brothers. And now I got to deal with this lady harassing me.
Sexual harassment. Not harassing. No, sexual harassment.
Yes. Sexual harassment. You got to tell her no. I ain't doing that.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. So, because he didn't conform to her needs, her wants, oh, you don't deny me. Do you know who I am? So guess what? I'm about to get you in a whole big old mess. Yeah. So now, he had to go to jail.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's funny is even though, like, every place he went, like slavery, then Potiphar's house, then to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though those were like difficult times for him, I'm sure, because he doesn't know where he's going necessarily. He may not still remember the dream.
Yeah.
Or even it being in the front of his mind. So
Right.
he's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But those are still roads that helped him become a leader.
Yes.
So when he gets in that position, you know, he knows what to do.
Yeah.
Like when he goes to jail. Now he's the leader in jail and
Yeah.
he's, you know, helping with leadership roles. So yeah,
Exactly.
now he knows what to do when he gets in that position.
And
Exactly.
then telling everybody else in jail what their dream means.
Yeah.
Right. So not only those working with your hands, the leadership role, but now you pointed out a great point, Josh. Now he's working on his spiritual gifts.
Dream.
Interpreting,
Interpretation.
interpretation. Dreams.
Because like you can have dreams, but you're like, oh, Lord, you have to pray.
Right.
Because you don't know what it means.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
other people can have dreams and know what it means.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if you don't know what a dream means, like, there's
How do
really
you
no
move?
point. Yeah, how do you move
How do you move?
without knowing what
Yeah.
it means?
Yeah. Especially when you know you have a dream for a particular reason. You know, I need to know what this means so now I know how to move, you know, moving forward. So that's another, as we talked about when you all talked about your dreams deferred, that's the other part of that maturing that happens in that time. You know, God is fine tuning, you know, those spiritual gifts. You were moving in them, but you know, you needed some maturity in that area. You needed to know more about leadership, about patience, you know, how to treat people who mistreat you. Wouldn't it have made sense to tell the truth? Why didn't Joseph tell the truth to Potiphar? Hey, did nobody try to come on to your wife? She came on to me. How come he didn't tell the truth?
And you know, one other thing that he learned
What?
being in jail is learn how to like manage and ration. And he didn't even know like he's gonna be in leadership when there's a famine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, going back to that, telling the truth when folks are lying. He should have taken the consequences of getting his side out. To me, that's what happens when you're immature. Now I'm gonna get my side out. God probably told Joseph, no, just hold it. I'm going to build trust here. I'm gonna build trust here. I'm gonna have you to come on the scene, back on the scene, and begin to help him decipher dreams that no one else could assist with. So sometimes it's just meant for you to let them go with what they're saying. God will deal with it. He'll fight my battles. And that's what he did. And again, it was a part of that.
Right. I mean, if he would have said it, like, would they have even believed him anyway?
I think sometimes people do believe you. I believe the husband probably knew who his wife.
Yeah, he did.
Tony and I, you could come to me and say, Tony did so and so. Like, yeah, that was probably Tony. Or, no, not my husband.
Or if somebody said, oh, Tony came in the building, he was so loud. Yeah. I'm sure he was.
Right,
so
exactly.
He was talking.
Right.
Saying
He was
hey to
laughing.
everybody.
Right.
But if you say something else, you're like, oh no, that's not Tony. That's not his character.
It's not his character.
So
yeah.
You can't tell me that lie.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I believe that the husband knew, Potiphar knew his wife.
But still, he knew and didn't act up on it.
Mm-mm.
Because he's still sitting in jail.
Yeah.
Like, you can still tell the truth and then everybody
Yeah.
just be quiet. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, gotta deal with it. But it's just still, but can you imagine, again, I'm betrayed, sold off by my brothers. Joseph had a lot to deal with, and I'm wondering, during those times, did he have that recall to say, you know what, Lord, I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I know you love me. I remember the dream. I remember your promise. And that's what I'm going to hold on to. I'm going to hold on to that while I'm in slavery. I'm going to hold on to that while I'm in prison. I'm going to hold on to that before I get in prison, even though she lied on me. I'm going to hold on to it because I trust you. And when your dad and I have gone through different things in this life, we always considered it a privilege and an honor that God would trust us with the test. However, there were some tests that I'm like,
How are we going to get through?
how are we going to get through this? Some things I didn't even see. There were certain things with your dad that I was like, I trust you. But my mind, my sight, my real eyeballs, I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see it because I couldn't see the next thing after. Well,
how will it happen?
How will it happen?
If we do this step and this step, it still won't get to what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't see it. So but even in your natural state, not seeing it, your spirit man says, but God. And that's really all you need. That's all you need to get you through, to get you enough strength to continue on that path to the place where your dreams are fulfilled. And Joseph did. He got to that place. God elevated him to the place where then he was able to take care of his own family. All forgiven because who cares about that? Y'all meant it for evil, but God is going to bring nothing but good and glory out of this situation. And what a lot of times no one really understands is I'm now better for it.
Right. And people don't understand, like, you can do evil, but at the end of the day, God has control over what evil can be done.
Right.
So it's like, you're not really running anything, man. You better set me up to be on the other side.
Come on,
Yeah,
Josh.
just like
Come
even Satan, he has to, like with the Job story, he has to ask God, can I do this for him? Can I do this? Go ahead. Because I know he trusts me. Go ahead, take his what was it, his land, his
land,
animals.
everything.
Yeah.
Land, animals, kids.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Wife.
Yeah,
I'll give him a new one.
yeah. So those are such great points because oftentimes, people are used because it's not them, it's the spirit, that's working in them. They think they're manipulating things, to bring you to a place that you'll never come out of. And you're not doing anything that God has not already seen the end. Like, are you kidding me? And there was a period in time where God kept showing me during one of Tony and I's processes, he kept showing me, like when people do you wrong, you remember Moses kept going, I'm going to go, wait a minute, first, God would set him up and say, go on back up there to Pharaoh. He would go back up there, and then the scripture says, God hardens his heart.
Right.
You told me to go back up there, and before I get to Pharaoh, you harden his heart. What is going on? So again, back to what you said, so many people think they're like, they really running things. You are not running anything. God is in control of everything. He knows the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. We're only walking into things that are already there. So we win in the end. High five. I love it. Yeah. Joseph, he won in the end. He's second in charge.
And y'all did exactly what his dream said. Y'all done bow down to him.
Had to.
Y'all crazy. And then weeping at that.
Yeah, bless him. Bless him, Jesus. Yeah. And he's sobbing. Yeah. Joseph had to finish the course. He had to finish the plan. He had to finish the test. And again, he wins in the end. So even when we think our dreams are deferred, they're actually all a part of God's plan, his perfect plan. Because you will gain in the end something that you never ever thought you would, which is, perfecting those spiritual gifts, those of leadership, the maturing. It has to happen in order for God to trust you with the dream. He has to perfect you. And that perfection comes through testing. We have never went to another grade without testing. Antoinette, you just had to take how many tests to move on to the next class?
Like 2 or 3.
2 or 3. You weren't moving on to the next class. You won't move on to the next grade. You won't move on to the next promotion unless you have tested out of that previous level. It ain't happening. You're not going in entry level, kindergarten, preschool, and now all of a sudden you're in college. No. Step by step, a building upon. We're super excited to have finished out Dreams Deferred. That was good. I had not intended to do Dreams Deferred for April, but so happy that, a part of holding on, oftentimes you're dealing with a dream that has been deferred. And you have to hold on.
If you could only hold on.
Just you,